Missed opportunity to call the movie I Know What You Did 28 summers ago. We're past the era of horror movie remakes, and now it's all about the legacy sequels, some of which even satirize the concept of legacy sequels. This one, however, will truly do something different and push the universe forward. You see, the first one was about some partying teens who think they killed a man in a hit-and-run accident, till he comes back a year later and stalks their asses during the 4th of July festivities. This one's way different. It has a group of partiers during an engagement party who kill a man in an accident, and then a year later they're stalked during 4th of July festivities. But it's not a remake, damn it. It's got Ray and Julie back in it again. Having legacy characters stops it from being a remake, even though it's got the same title as the first. They'd been trying to get a film reboot of the franchise off the ground for a while. Mike Flanagan even co-wrote a treatment in 2014, which would have been a whole new story with no ties to the original, but that project never made it, and instead we got the 2021 Amazon series, which was a standalone story that was canceled after a season. You can currently see me going through that series over on Patreon. Spoiler, that show was awful. But with the success of the new Scream films, it made sense to give us an I Know What You Did Last Summer follow-up, since even the first was made due to Scream's success. So writing went to Sam Lansky and Jennifer Caton Robinson, with Robinson directing, as she'd previously been a writer on Thor: Love and Thunder. So this movie better have a mid-credit scene in it. Once again, only the most original films to come out of original films. Safe hands. The last movie of theirs I watched was the Prom Night remake. The heart is in the right place here. It gives us a similar opening shot and credit style that I would see in a 90s horror movie about people who do things the previous summer. Here, Ava returns home to find that her parents have decorated her room with every item they found at the neighborhood garage sales. We get to know the character when we have a clothes-changing montage.
Oh, Milo, what are you doing at our best friend's engagement party?
I don't know who you are, who you're talking about, and I certainly don't care what dress you pick, or what the story is behind the family members in your pictures.
You're gonna have a great night. Miss you, Mom.
I don't know a thing about your mom. She could have sucked. This is one hell of an engagement party they're having. This screams of God, I hope they end up getting divorced. Please let me know something about these characters.
I think you should hook up with Milo tonight. With you looking so hot, a cascade of fireworks, which you know I find very erotic.
Thanks for that bit of exposition. These girls are very popular. They've caught the eye of tech bro Pauly Shore and Mixed Army Hammer. So this is celebrating the engagement of Teddy and Danica. She knows he'll be financially stable. Teddy just won the NFL draft and is about to be trained by Marlon Wayans in football and murder. They spared no expense here. They got the Rocketeer himself to show up. They're all acting like it's the first time they met.
Can you believe our best friends are getting married?
You know what? I can.
Great small talk, Prince Eric. He heard from the sea that they were made for each other. Just like their character exposition dumps are just a sea of words.
But I don't have a cushy family nepo baby empire real estate thing going on.
Even though we should already know this about each other, I just wanted to prove that I read our character bios. Now let's get high and cause an accident. It is the 4th of July after all. They gotta make this count. This is the only movie of the series that was actually released in July. Let's see, do we have everything? Keys, booze, old beefs.
We were close in high school, but after all that shit went down with my dad, they went off to college and I got stuck here.
I only took this job so I could mean mug you before you drive irresponsibly, and with more irresponsible character dumps.
Wait, is it true she went to rehab? Yeah. Can you blame her for spiraling after her dad blew her entire college fund and left?
Yes, I do believe it. There's no exposition that's too awkward for them to cram into the scenes. Is that why this is the longest of the movies? This is an hour and 51 minutes. They needed that extra time so the characters can keep giving information to each other that they already know. See, they're friends again. You don't have to twist my arm to go drunk driving along the windy roads. Though the writing on these characters is lazy, I do like that they aren't exact carbon copies of the original. These characters are a bit older, they're a lot wealthier, their personalities are slightly more humorous.
Come to this place for magic.
Okay, Nicole Kidman, but there's a car coming.
Fuck that car.
Okay, while Him was a more ambitious film than this, Tyreek Withers is way better in this movie than he was in that one. He's actually got a pretty entertaining personality in this, where he'll get himself killed for the laughs. Do we push the car down? We gotta move this plot along somehow. What would the characters of 911 Nashville do? They would wait for a lightning bolt to zap that car back onto the street. It's for the best that Sam Cooper, the driver, perishes, since he already does a slasher movie punch through the window. I got nothing much to add here. I've now reviewed this scene several times at this point. Some want to call the cops, some want to try helping the person, and others want to cover it up since it'll really ruin the wedding. This doesn't seem like as bad of a predicament as the others. You guys weren't even driving, and this was clearly an accident. Plus, he did you all a favor. Sam already plummeted into the water. That saves them from having to do a scene where you carry him and dump him into the pond. They can just go right home and make their pact in their, torture dungeon? Where the hell are they?
I won't tell anyone.
Don't give us that judgy look. You're agreeing to this pact too. I'm sure they'll get over it fast once a year goes by. See, going on road trips gets her all horny. Ava, did you make out with the freeloader?
Look, I haven't really slept with a guy in years, but you seem pretty beta and I'm really into whatever's happening between you two.
Congrats. You made me completely disinterested in a three-way. So Tyler here is actually a true crime podcaster, because of course she is, and she just happens to be traveling to Southport to do an episode on fisherman Ben Willis. What are the odds? Their lives seem perfectly fine. Now there's a bridal shower going on. The fisherman was hoping there'd be a wedding, that way he can gift wrap his message to her. I'm surprised he didn't include a gift card. Thanks for that cutaway. I had forgotten that they got someone killed a year ago. It could have been about anything they did last summer. I guess a lot did happen. Teddy was kicked to the curb and now she's engaged to Wyatt. Plus, they can now suspect that Teddy is the one who sent the letter. It can't be the dude in the car. That guy was a loser.
Yeah, but you didn't have anyone, no family. None that I could find anyway.
Which honestly makes the whole thing even sadder.
Give me 5 minutes and I'll try forcing a tear. Teddy is living his best life. Hey guys, I just turned my old acid wash jeans into a hoodie jacket. He's gotten more slow in the past year.
Is this a joke or something? I don't get it.
I just smoked reefer out of a smallmouth bass. I am not ready to process this right now. As if Danica hasn't got enough going on with the wedding planning, she also has to worry about Wyatt's knack for jump scares. You son of a bitch, I told you to never bring horror movie stingers in the house. Now fix me a bath just like I like it, filled with the blood of our fired house staff, while Wyatt does his nightly whole bottle of booze. Yeah, I'll deal with you in a minute. I've almost polished off this whole cotton candy vodka over here. The fisherman has the same MO as Ben, in that he's killing people who had absolutely nothing to do with the accident. All these movies are just fishermen using car accidents as an excuse to kill anyone they cross paths with. But this time with more modern dialogue.
You can take whatever you want! Take the gun to my crypto wallet!
Oh well, that's why he wants to jam his hook into him. Wyatt gave him bad advice on crypto stocks. Or he's trying to send a message that she cannot erase her past, and that Teddy was a far better catch than Wyatt. It even made her shed some tears finally.
Yeah, but you're like a hot widow.
See, she's devastated it could affect her hotness. My god, the dialogue is bad. And where the hell are Julie and Ray? That's why I'm here. The only reason I mildly care about what's going on in the plot is that the characters, as generic as they are a step up from the television series, but maybe just as dumb.
Do you think this is some kind of fucked up karma for what we did? I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? The note said, I know what you did last summer. Yes, it is karma biting you in the ass with a hook. These dumb questions keep coming.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask a question that we're all thinking. Is somebody after us?
I guess it's possible. There's a threatening letter written in blood and they killed your fiancé, so there's a slight chance someone is stalking you. They're more interested in their sexiness, even about characters who aren't there.
What about your new friend, Ava? And she has a whole podcast about murder.
Oh my god, wait, I found her. She's so hot.
Oh yeah, her podcast on Gacy was known for its hotness, just like Teddy is known for his looks and not his brains.
I think it's time we start digging into our local lore.
Local what?
Lore, Teddy, just listen to the podcast.
When I first arrived, I was shocked at the glow up. This place is so beautiful, it makes me want to die.
Unsubscribe. I've reviewed all of these movies. I know what happened during previous Southport murders, and apparently Teddy's dad Grant turned it into the Hamptons to remove all the murderous fishermen out of town. I noticed that they say nothing about the events of the third film. Perhaps it would have been hard to include the fact that the fisherman is now a ghost who haunts anyone who does bad things during the summer. There's elements here that could be clever, like the podcaster angle, where she's putting up her stickers everywhere, and not only do they tour the old location, but she also wears a Helen shirt. That could work if this character wasn't so annoying.
Did you make that?
I sell them on my Etsy shop. Oh god, wasn't she so hot?
Is there anything in this universe that these characters don't think is hot? Not gonna lie, kinda want that t-shirt though. Before it was released, they kept saying that Sarah Michelle Gellar turned the movie down because her character was deader than dead and it'd be impossible to bring her back. More on that in a minute, but first let's title drop.
I know what you did last summer.
Yes, I also know what they did last summer. You don't have to keep showing me flashbacks like I'm an idiot. And why does this keep turning her on? Tyler is such a wild card that Ava assumed she could dress like a fisherman within seconds, and that's totally legit.
Tyler? Cool costume, but I'm not loving this.
Do I look like I'm the same person? Oh my god, now I'm being chased by a fisherman in the same murder spot from '97. This is so hot, you guys. You may be shocked to hear this, but this is getting stupid. Good thing the fisherman knew she was gonna stand there. Setting up that contraption would have been a huge waste of time if she didn't do that. Here's yet another character who had nothing to do with the accident, yet the fisherman wants her dead. But in this case, I'm like, can you blame him? Her comedic podcast shtick was really sullying the classy memories of the original killing spree. After 28 years, it's cool to see the mannequin room is still there, and she's the first to see who the killer is. It's good she respects spoilers enough to not say the killer's name. On a positive note, it is quickly killing characters who I thought would turn out to be the killer. When Tyler showed up and then Wyatt, I was instantly thinking, that's the killer. But no, so now I'm just pointing the finger at Billy Campbell. Let's take a break. Maybe they'll tour the old fishing room where Johnny Galecki was killed.
And now it's time for Lloyd's Out of Context 911 Nashville Clip of the Week.
Amy, are you okay? Stop the bar! Stop the bar! Stop the bar! Amy, I think my friend's having a heart attack.
Girl, are you
okay? Are you okay? Breathe. Hopper, get her some air.
We've waited 45 minutes for Julie to come into it, but I do like how she's introduced.
The cops are all in Grant's pocket. They're not gonna help us.
Then we'll find someone who will.
It's happening again!
Okay, that was pretty funny. Let me guess, Julie and Ray are gonna be the best characters in it. Now Julie is working as a college professor who specializes in psychology and trauma. It'd be way funnier if Ray was working as a professor who teaches proper usage of fishing lures. Not only is it a return for Julie, but also Jennifer Love Hewitt's return to horror after I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, having turned down a lot of other horror movies in the past. She knows the right questions to ask.
I just have one question. What did you do last summer?
She knew it had to be summer because the fisherman would never kill anyone who does something bad in the winter. She keeps the memories of most of her friends around after she picked all the pictures that she could crop Ray out of. One of the conditions in her coming back was that she actually be given a lot to do instead of just a brief cameo. Take that, Reagan McNeil cameo in Exorcist Believer, but the dialogue is about as good as that film.
And the cops are downplaying it because they don't want to scare away the tourists who are in town.
Well, I'm glad to know that the Southport PD is still #1 in gaslighting.
See, I can speak the lingo of you kids. My students at the university also told me that Ben Willis was not Brat. Her advice is to get the killer before he gets them. It may go a little better than the town hall meeting where they're like, Tyler seemed disturbed already. She probably just did this to herself. Sure. This town hall is only happening so Ray can make his grand entrance.
This isn't the first time there's been violence like this in Southport, and you know it.
And I am not gonna talk about what happened in the Bahamas. It even turns into a Jaws knockoff, sort of, as they want to downplay the deaths because it'll affect tourist season. Stevie even doesn't know about Ray's past, and she works for him.
Why didn't you ever tell me what happened to you?
It isn't something I like talking about.
I figured you already knew. It's a famous local story. I was right in assuming that the movie picks up when the legacy characters come back. Freddie Prinze Jr. is really good in this.
I'm sorry, you were married to Julie James?
Unfortunately.
Okay, now I just want to see a movie about the failed marriage of Julie and Ray. I even like his reactions to our heroes saying stupid shit.
We have to involve Fleur.
What's a fleur?
Don't ask.
My claircognizant empath.
God, I miss Bahama Jack Black right about now. Ray fits the Julie role too, in that he shows up to tell them where to go next, like checking out the car that Sam Cooper was driving, and again, not telling them to just go to the police. No, let's check out the old-timey cemetery, where all the victims of the past are buried next to each other. There's gotta be some hotness here.
Oh my god! She was a croaker queen just like me.
You're gonna bang the corpse, aren't you? I like that even Sam Cooper is buried next to them, where a mysterious person laid fresh flowers. I know what we must do. After the Ben's son incident from '98, let's find out if anyone in town is going by the last name Samson. And cemetery staff isn't even spared from the fisherman's wrath for going far over budget on their Batman-like security software. That takes care of that, I guess. You could have just snuck in after hours and cut the power. The rules are simple. Have nothing to do with the accident and you get killed right away. Have a substantial role in the accident. He'll just follow you around in the cemetery for a bit and show off his powers. Okay, so is the fisherman back to being a ghost in this one? He killed that cemetery guy and the podcaster quick, but when it comes to our leads, he's suddenly very bad at killing people and bad at opening doors. Cool, just using your hand would have worked too. Same with pulling her out from under the float. So many of these scenes would end a lot quicker if he just shot her and she didn't come with a last-minute save.
Walk away from her!
Now you stay right there. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's also check the list for anyone in town who walks really slow and then suddenly has lightning fast speed. But anyways, as Julie polishes off some wine and then gives all her students a C so she can quickly get to the next bottle, she can show these kids that she does unnecessary flashbacks too. Alright, this is a sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's even worse than I thought. The killer isn't here, it's my ex-husband.
It's a warm welcome.
I thought someone was coming to murder me. This is worse.
Damn it, movie, stop stealing my jokes right after I write them down! I really want more of these two together. These scenes do work.
What is this really about, Ray? Because I'm not buying the whole I'm worried about you nice guy act.
Fuck it.
Alright, you got me there. Let's just do our yearly hate sex and I'll be on my way. I like how they get into what their lives have been like for the past couple decades, and how they dealt with the trauma of the previous events. It makes sense here, it won't later! So back to the lesser characters, where, guys, I am trying to sleep here. Am I not being subtle in my clues? My blanket is so tight I can't breathe. Teddy so has an in now? So, the new fiance's still dead, huh?
It's just lumpy now. I'm injured.
I know there's a killer after them, but stop whining! As for what's going on in the other room... Yep, banging going on in there too.
Choke me. Punish me.
Wait, what?
Jesus, we're not doing the porn parody here, sweetie. She didn't get the memo that this is a modern slasher, which means the violence is R-rated, but the sex is a soft PG-13. In fact, just skip the sex and go right to the killing. I hear choking out there, and it's not me. Worse yet, he stole Milo's car. So much for the fisherman respecting the rules of the road. It's taken long enough in this series for the characters to do the right thing, which is getting their asses to church. So the car that Sam was driving belonged to Pastor Judah, who doesn't seem sinister at all when he shows up.
Ava?
Hard jump scares. This guy has to have something to do with this, and he gives off major creep vibes, not to mention the scrapbook like he's writing his own Book of the Dead. The cut after he gives her the book, though, is pretty funny.
This book reminds you that death is part of God's natural order.
It's Judah.
Look, we don't have evidence he has anything to do with it, but after spending 5 minutes with him, he can't be up to anything good. Let's take another break while Billy Campbell poses for his spread in Scotch Weekly. Come see us at our last con of the year at Grand Rapids Comic Con, November 14th through the 16th. We'll be there all weekend with prints, movies, copies of my book, and more. Get your tickets at grcomiccon.com. We're back, and it seems there's a new genre of film. Between this and him, there's a genre of bad things happening whenever Tyreek Withers goes into a steam. And how did the fisherman count on him seeing this? Phew, that was a close one. Your next is a completely different film. I'm safe. No need for me to take that threat seriously. I'm just gonna head home and have my nightly case of beer. I like that these characters are so dumb, the fisherman doesn't even hide underneath anything. He just stands there in plain view, and Teddy thinks nothing of it. I'm still a little bummed out that Teddy is out of the movie. He's one of the only new characters I liked, as he brought a good sense of humor to it. I guess the killer can't be Billy Campbell, since he's still polishing off a drink. Oh, and he gets killed too. He was the other character I liked, simply just because it was Billy Campbell playing him. We're left with such bland characters now that they have to go to the grave to bring back more legacy characters.
It's not my fault.
Of course it's your fault.
Oh my god! What kind of dream is this?
I was Southport's very own Croaker Queen. Way back in... I really shouldn't date myself.
1996.
Careful, sweetheart. I have the hook.
So Danica is dreaming of a much snarkier version of Helen, also one who isn't a teenager anymore. And how does Danica know that Teddy is dead, let alone what he was wearing and what his exact wounds were? Weirdly, I would respect this so much more if this wasn't a dream and Helen came back as a ghost killer for no reason. That would top the stupidity of the radio show plot and this shit. Or at least they could pull a Rocky V and have her say, "Get up, you son of a bitch, because Helen loves ya." Or how about if the killer was a tiger shark seeking revenge? Give us a deleted scene where Ray says he was visited by the ghost of dead Jack Black. How is it so hard to catch the fisherman? Not only is he leaving bodies around for everyone to find, but also had enough time to kill Pastor Judah and pose him. Assuming it was the fisherman who did this, Pastor Judah seemed like he would have a lot of enemies. As for who the killer is, my God, Sam Cooper had a girlfriend and it's Stevie. I should have known. Her full name is Stevie, Sam's girlfriend. Plus,
You're a crazy psycho bitch!
You shouldn't call women crazy, Eva. It's so reductive.
she does that thing where she reveals herself as a killer and then acts way crazier than she did in previous scenes. I don't know why I didn't assume it was her. It was made clear at the beginning that she seemed to hate these people, so she met Sam through treatment, and when he died, he was on his way to get her in case she needed rehab. Maybe Sam dodged a bullet. She might have ended up killing him in his sleep sometime in the future. But there is still 20 minutes left, so I'm assuming she has an accomplice, while Ray is just relieved he didn't have to travel all the way to the Bahamas to save them this time. Or, well, not save all of them anyway.
There needs to be
Sorry, probably should have shot her sooner, but let's all admit Danica annoyed the shit out of us. Ray has very inconsistent morals in this. You want to know why? Well, take a guess who the second killer is.
There's just one problem. You know it was me, don't you?
What? I don't even love these movies, but even I'm like, you are doing Ray wrong. Now, Barry I could see growing up to be a killer, but Ray? This man went through hell traveling to another country to save his friends. Suddenly here, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna help my employee kill the people who caused her boyfriend's death. That way the town will remember what happened to me. Okay. That makes no sense. If you want people to remember what happened to you, just do a TV interview or a blog. And why would you kill the podcaster who was trying to get your story out? Like, damn, that bitter divorce from Julie must have really changed him. Were the writers like, let's make Lois Duncan hate this series even more from the grave? The plus side, Freddie Prinze is still having fun, and this is the only thing I'll remember from the movie.
So here we are. It's 1997 all over again. Isn't that nostalgic?
I remember the killings so you don't have to, Julie. Speaking of remembering lines...
This is gonna hurt, sweetheart.
What are you waiting for?
She's fine. See, Ava killed Ray before we got to see an all-out fight scene between him and Julie. Boo! This isn't the worst of the series, but in some ways it is. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer was way, way dumber. The third movie with its ghost plot and awful editing was the worst made, but this feels the most generic. I'll continue to remember Ben's son and Ghost Fisherman, whereas this, I'll mainly remember that it's 20 minutes too long and too afraid to kill certain characters. Like, oh yeah, sure she survived that and washed up to shore. It's funny how the first parallels Scream and this parallels Scream 5, like how the first Scream satirized slashers, then I Know What You Did Last Summer came and just did all the tropes straightforward, whereas Scream 5 satirized legacy sequels, and then this one comes and just straightforward does all the tropes that Scream 5 was making fun of, which is sad because they could have done something clever with this, like how the recent Final Destination breathed new life into that series. This movie plays it too safe, it just does the same story again with unmemorable kills, and rides on nostalgia and calls it a day. And I mean really calls it a day. Look how they wrap up Stevie.
Oh my god, I forgot to tell you.
What?
Stevie's alive.
What the fuck?
The hell? Was that added in post in case they want to do a 5th film? And one more thing, somehow Palpatine returned. I'm guessing the mid-credit scene was added later too, when they remembered that the director has MCU ties. So let's get Brandy back in here. I know we haven't seen each other in decades, but we were college roommates. Who else would I want to sequel bait with? Which may or may not happen, since this only had lukewarm box office.
Who are we fucking up this time?
I was really hoping you were gonna say that.
Great, we'll see them together in Avengers Doomsday when they fight Mr. Fish. Ugh, watching that movie felt like an obligation, but I liked it better than the television series. This was long, but at least it wasn't 8 hours.
She wants you to choke her. So choke her.